Hello guys, and welcome back to Supreme Ruler 2030 with our Russian playthrough. In the last episode, we were just getting started, looking over the world, going through tech and designs and things like that. I've actually gone ahead and just spent like 20-30 minutes going through the rest of my designs, and I've gone through some stuff. We only really had naval stuff left. I am not sorting through these missiles, at least not right now. I trust the AI's judgment. I'm not going through just under designs we already have, like 70 designs or 80, and then research as well. But naval I took care of, and that was honestly like almost 50 designs. I narrowed down the sub to this one right here, the Dolgoruki. I narrowed down the carriers to the Chabarovsk, and I will probably never use carriers, but we'll see. The capital ship I've narrowed down to the Nikolai II, which is from 2018, but its image makes it look like a much older design. Escorts I've narrowed down to the Sovaremi. I've narrowed down the patrol ships to the Gremyashny. I know I'm saying all these wrong, I can't help it. For research though, I've pretty much found a new ship for every single category to research. For example, the submarine, Mukden. This is definitely upgraded. It's a much newer design with stats that I would say are a hell of a lot better. And then there's even more stuff like this, if I can find it all. Naval engineer, obviously, we got the Asiatic Sea. This is some sort of stealth escort or something, by the looks of it. A stealth capital ship or something, by the looks of it. The Archangel for our new capital ship. And then I narrowed down a new carrier, the Makarov, but I didn't put it into the research because I just don't think that we need that at the moment. Again, because I'm not sure I'm going to use carriers. This is also a campaign, not a sandbox. While I could drag it out, assuming that I don't start the final confrontation immediately, like I did in the prior campaign, I'll just need to get a better idea of what's happening before I make this decision. Looking at my patrol ships, I narrowed it down to the Arctic Sun, though it's newer than what I already have by over 10 years. It's not necessarily better than what I already have, so it's not really better at all, to be honest. Yeah, so I'm just going to exclude that one. It can only shoot like 7k out against like air targets, for example, as a patrol ship versus the Gremyashny here, which can shoot like 146k out at any air target, including high air targets. This seems way better as a patrol ship, at least approaching it from a expensive, I want the best of the best approach, which I believe I can make work as Russia. I mean, real life Russia can't make it work, but I could probably make it work, I think. What filter did I pull up? I didn't even hit anything for a filter. I just hit technology races. Okay, well, anyway, that is basically that whole setup then. Research is done. I'm not going to build the research center until I have a better idea of what the first objectives are going to be and how much time I have to work with. Since for right now, we make more of every single resource than we need, and we don't really understand how our budget is going to settle yet, I'm not going to build too much. I'm going to definitely make sure we're not selling any military goods. I want to stockpile the fuck out of these. And in the meantime, I'm just going to end up unpausing and we'll see what happens. So we have a pop-up. Rebels in the south. Invade North Caucasus. Annihilate the rebels. Our first target is to quell the rebellion led by Ramzan Kadyrov, a former confidant of Putin who now challenges our current leadership. His ambition for an independent Northern Caucasus cannot be tolerated. We cannot afford to appear weak in the face of such a challenge. It is imperative that we act assertively and demonstrate our military might, not only to subdue the Northern Caucasus region, but also to send a clear message to other oblasts and former Soviet Union territories. By decisively annihilating the Northern Caucasus rebels, we will eliminate their existence and deter any future attempts at separation. Let our relentless pursuit serve as a reminder to all that challenging our nation will only result in utter destruction. Almost all of that was flavor text. Oh look, there's like a little red button to show if it's a primary objective. Does that mean there's side objectives? Oh my god. And the AI is getting auto building. We just kind of got to the next day. I'm going to hide those alerts. Alright, so this task will kind of move at my own pace. I'll keep an eye on them, get some units deployed, and see what kind of a threat they're going to be from afar. Because it seems like I'm the one that's going to hit declare war. Hopefully we don't have to do that with Ukraine. Because I've sent them an alliance request. The aggressive nature instead of defensive nature of the Germany campaign, look at the potato head, means that I can at least take my time and do other things and actually run my country rather than just bum rushing it towards military objectives. So this might end up being more of a whole, full playthrough experience, assuming I haven't fucked something up already. Alright, so the alliances are coming in, and actually, Ukraine said no. Lack of diplomatic interest, so they said no. So I thought, wow, I guess they actually did something to stop you. Maybe we will be going to war. But I thought, you know, let's just do the good method of what happens if we do it again? And they accepted it. I don't know why. It's the same exact treaties, it's the same exact request, and they accepted it the second time. So maybe it's like a one-off script, or maybe, I don't know. But yeah, allied now. Also, I got an alliance with Moldova. 2 allied regions. Oh, that's probably counting colonies. Oh yeah, it is. Russian Crimea. I hate how that's on by default. I have to turn it off every time. But Moldova, Mongolia, Belarus, and Ukraine have all allied with me. I don't think there was many more coming in. I suppose due to my friendly nature, North Korea is willing to make an alliance with me? I'll go ahead and take that. I don't believe South Korea is suicidal enough to declare war on North Korea when they also have to account for Russia being allied, at least going by SRU AI logic. As we make alliances, other nations will become more willing to make alliances with us because it makes the whole world feel better. Oh my god. Better about us. Bro, they weren't even at war. They're at war now. And because neither of them probably started with a lot of troops deployed, they're just pouring over each other fighting. This really is a civil war. It's like some scripts triggered after I unpaused for long enough. What is this? God damn. Well, I mean, it's really none of my business. Does America really go across the world in this one? I don't know. There's not much I can really do to affect this, given the settings, so I guess I'll just look for now. Yo, watching this map go by is crazy. It's just constant pop-up. City captured, city captured, city captured, city captured. Because it's just, none of the cities have any defenses yet. So they're just moving like so quickly, just running over each other's things and taking them back. That's why the United Republic's military approval's fallen so much. You can see it's changing dramatically because whenever you take a city, you take land like that, you either gain or lose military approval, depending on if you gained or lost territory. So that's really just what's happening right now. And I think this situation, the fact that they weren't actually garrisoned and prepared for war at the start of the scenario, might make this war a lot quicker than it would otherwise be, just given the plummeting, generally, military approval values that come with, well, this. So due to all my production of land and naval units, which I will have to look through to make sure that we're not producing anything super outdated or anything, that's going to be hard to tell with these previews. Does it tell me the age of something on this screen? No, I don't think so. I just kind of have to check. Like, oh, is that something that's in my designs? Oh, I see we're prioritizing the super long-range artillery. I might narrow that down in a bit then, if that's just what the AI is going to pump out. I mean, it's a good choice. It's definitely a good choice. But looking mainly at, like, naval stuff, what the hell? Typhoon? Why am I pumping out some old submarine? That's not the one I want. Get rid of that. Get rid of all those. See, the AI just takes some, liberties sometimes. Everything else here looks pretty familiar. But all these submarines have made a gigantic demand for uranium that I just don't meet. So I can tell that uranium is going to have to be something that I make more of. Also, I can't see things, wow, over this map. Actually, this works for now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, and that's it. Just wherever we already have complexes. So 4 more for now. We're gonna have to make a lot more. We have 14 of these. Infrastructure spending still going up, so supply. Not to mention the fact that we don't have supply in a lot of these regions in general. We only produce 6,926. And our demand, our actual use is 31k. It wasn't commuting. Oh, okay. I was gonna say, I wasn't communicating it correctly here, but about 31k. So we're gonna need a lot more than 14 and or a lot more supply. That much is certain. Let me hide those notifications there. We also got our alliance with North Korea, so that's pretty nice. Every other resource that we make and have seems to be going pretty well. I do see the value of maybe making a couple more industrial goods factories. I'll put those somewhere, like, in just, you know, the middle here, where they'll be theoretically safer. So, Novosibirsk or somewhere around here would do pretty well, yeah. Let's do 1, 2, and that's all I could put there. Oh yeah, there was already a bunch of stuff on it. Weird. I don't feel like I see the imagery for the factories that should be there. Well, that's very strange. But we put 1, 2 there. We could put like 1, 2, just over here in Om, just right next to it. Just 4 factories. Get that up to a clean 20 because I could see us needing more of that in the future. Every other resource we're like profiting off of selling from, at least for now, what the state of the market. Agriculture is a opportunity good. I'm not quite sure I can fully understand why, now that I can't see the trades publicly. But I can go to agriculture, and I think this one's imports, exports. So I am the top exporter. I'm not the top producer, but I'm the top exporter. That's interesting. The top importers are China, India, America, United Republic. Yeah, I feel like India and China might not be making enough. I don't know. The price is going up. So it might be worth investing in agriculture, which is so weird to say in Supreme Ruler. Even electricity is turning out to be a priority good. Interesting. I think that a lot of this also might just come from the fact that we are playing a low GDP country now. And so a lot of things become profitable. What is this? Why do I hear shooting now as well? A big use of uranium also is the fact that the AI decided that we needed 12, literally a dozen sapwood ICBMs. Now I don't entirely disagree. However, this also means that I should probably have building some silos, because you never know, we might need some silo nukes. The ones that the AI has opted to build, which I actually don't really mind that it's building those ones given the size. Although, if we're talking about a silo nuke, actually, that's completely besides the point. I haven't used these in forever. You don't need size to be a issue that you worry about with silo nukes. No. Because the silo can launch whatever the fuck you put in it. So I could just, for example, get rid of the sapwoods and then hide all these, just stop making them. Because, for example, the Satan is a much better one. So we only really need one standard ICBM. Honestly, yeah, the Satan at 1988 release date and just the damage values and the range, it's really just the best nuke we can make. And it's not too bad. It was a favorite of mine in the Cold War scenario. This is the MIRV version too. It's actually a newer version. I'll go ahead and just like let that be built if the AI wants to do that, but no other ICBM is needed. I'm just kind of sorting through the decisions my AI makes as it makes it. It is opting to make something called the Kelt as well, ASM. Okay, I can let it take some decision making with these other missiles. It's just that silo nukes, the size doesn't matter, so making something smaller isn't necessarily important. My units are deploying, but I also want to stretch this reserve limit, and of course the best way to do that is with garrison. So for this little pocket here of Kaliningrad and also the main little chunk of Russia here, I've gone ahead and told them to garrison up. I'll probably spread it out because just being fully garrisoned is generally a smart thing. So I want to get that process started, keep deploying units, find the upper limit of this reserve personnel so that I can respond more accurate. What the fuck is happening here? Why are you guys flying like air fleets next to each other? What is this? Why are you doing this? Also, is it just me or do these 3D models, when I zoom out more, I don't know if you guys can tell this kind of detail through a video, do these 3D models start either lowering their resolution and or aliasing like really badly when I zoom out, like tick by tick? I don't know, but yeah, that's a thing. Ooh, and now China will accept an alliance with me. That seems smart. Let's go ahead and get that, and with that I can also stop supporting them because I don't need to make them like me anymore. I just want to get these friendly nations that are like on my border to like me. That's what I want. If you border me and you're friendly and I could get you to be my friend, then I will try to get you to be my friend before I start declaring any wars. Especially even someone like Lithuania who has strategic interest to me, because I could go through them and Belarus to get to Kaliningrad, to and from Kaliningrad, without needing to take a method of transport by sea. There was, of course, also the interest in Venezuela that I had expressed. So we're gonna go and get the alliance with Venezuela because they like us enough now. Stop supporting them. How is this going? The, well, United States has conquered a lot of this region. The United Republic is recovering some of its military approval, but it certainly doesn't look like it's winning, and no, it is not. Honestly, this is really just America tearing itself apart, no matter who wins here. Either way, this is interesting to watch, I guess. I can pretty much guess how a third of America fighting the rest of America is going to go before you even told me. I still find it absolutely hilarious that they put that into this scenario. What the hell? I didn't try to make this happen, but we can get an alliance with India, so I'll do it. They may still help me, even with China in the way. They might just go to war with China, I don't know. But for some reason now, I can turn off critical world opinion, so it doesn't really matter. As long as I just manually keep my units out of this region, which honestly, I'm just going to tell them to do that right now. There's a way to do that. Avoid this region. There you go. Just don't go in there. Also, don't go in here. We want to be allied with them, but we don't want to actually go into their territory or interact with them in any way. I've also told my AI to avoid India. Hopefully that does something. I can see Bangladesh is pretty damn close to liking us, but they won't actually ally with us. Not that they'd be a particularly important ally, but because they're so close, I'll go ahead and support them just to try to get it the rest of the way. While I'm just looking over things of like, who would make a good ally to get? Things that border are especially important. Things like Bangladesh, you know, actually just never mind this, are not important at all. Especially big things like India, though, that will support us. I mean, that's pretty important. We have our goals, and they're pretty limited right now. I don't need to min-max allying everybody in the world like I sometimes do. Like, potentially Paraguay, who really likes us. Wow, this reminds me... Oh, no, it doesn't work. I was gonna say, this reminds me of the Axis. I believe Paraguay really liked the Axis. Well, they don't like us enough to do anything. So right now already, in terms of income, we are... tax revenue is not good. Even with max taxes right now, and trade, like just selling to our own people, we're only really making back half of our expenses, and our expenses are still kind of ramping up their effects to give us the benefits that we're looking for. Trading is everything. We make so much money off of exporting. We're talking in a variation of billions per day. I think that's crazy. I gotta find like a really good day of exporting and see what it is we're exporting. A lot of timber right now is of course very good. Agriculture definitely seems to be good. This could do with some speeding up, just so we can get a better idea. All right, here's a good day of it. Oil, 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 and indie goods. Oil is a big seller, all right. Yep. That is always going to be a big seller, probably. Or maybe not. I mean, look at this. We're actually controlling production a little bit. Selling conditions are unfavorable after we unloaded a fuck ton of oil onto the market. So, oil profitable, but do we need to build more? Probably not, because the world isn't demanding more. If we get our own uranium under control, enough to sustain the production that I'm allowing to happen. The Spanker! We're building Spankers apparently now. What is a Spanker? Spanker appears to be silo launched, meaning the AI is just going back into designs that I once again cannot see. So we're gonna have to do this. I spend so much more time in Supreme Ruler 2030 fighting the decisions of the AI, and also finding myself incapable of just brute forcing what I want to happen past the AI. This is the perfect example of what I mean. I assigned a naval engineer to build. We have one free slot. I don't have auto build on. It assigned one, and I've been staring at this for days while it fails to put it there, realizing that it picked a slot that was already taken instead of the open slot. So I just kept assigning until I got a new one, and we finally got this. Now I can put continuous build on, and now naval engineer. This is sometimes so frustrating to work with. It's so weird. I never had these problems in Supreme Ruler Ultimate. There's going to be some good and some bad. That's why I usually don't play games on release, but I'm still having fun. So my AI is still avoiding building the Satan that I can actually see, and has actually just decided to build the original Satan. That's fine. I'm okay with that. That needs even more uranium, but it's making less of them overall. Again, fine, because it's more powerful. It goes farther. I'm okay with that. So I should get some silos building, because for some reason, I always hated how this is a thing. They don't start you out with silos. 16k range. So theoretically, I could put this in the fucking depths, the pits of Siberia, and it could probably reach, like, which I know is more over here, anywhere. You know, I really liked how in SRU also, it used to be instant that you could see how many hexes or the range to something. It's not instant anymore. Yeah, 16,000, that's like further than any singular point on the map from anywhere that I could ever put silos, pretty much. So it doesn't really matter where I put them, just as long as I put them away from places that are liable to be invaded. Somewhere around this railroad here would probably work really well. Ooh, especially right here, where the rail line just suddenly fucking ends and it's surrounded by terribly bad supply area and rivers. Like, you can't reach this even if you tried. It'd be such a hard path, and you know, you could just cut the infrastructure down the line if you really wanted to protect it. This is a great place to base it out of. I'll probably just put it on the rail line itself. Just for now, I think just one hex will be enough. If I just take the missile silos and we just put 6, just a full hex of missile silos so that we have them. Get those building. Very good, very nice. Quite happy. We have supply planes automated. I love seeing the AI do this. Bring automated supply out to these locations that have, like, no supply. Yeah, no supply, as we can see. Very bad. Wow, this is the North Caucasus military bar. And this is my military bar. I am out of reserve personnel. We've only deployed this many troops overall, roughly. This is the land numbers, and this is the all numbers. If I put away my garrisons, this would probably be even easier. Taking the North Caucasus will not be that big of a deal. Not only will it not be that big of a deal, I'm looking, and they don't have any garrisons, at least not yet. Does Ukraine? Yeah. Belarus? Yeah. Everybody else is doing it. China? Yeah. North Korea? Yes. They are just weird and don't have garrisons. Maybe it's because they're not even supposed to, like, exist as a country, so their AI is strange. But they're pretty open to invasion. Really, my biggest problem is just my inability to deploy as many units as is humanly possible. I'd actually, due to the difference in power here, I would actually like to see how the AI performs, my AI, in combat, at least at the beginning, just like as a way to see. When pushing into a country like this, I still probably play it with like a slower speed in case I need to intervene. The final person I wanted to make an alliance with, Lithuania here, will now make an alliance with me so we can take off that government support. So now all we're doing is opposing and funding insurgency on the North Caucasus. So once that alliance goes through for sure, we could go ahead and probably get this invasion underway as soon as possible. There's nothing else to do really except try to work on my economy and finances, which, I mean, honestly, they're fine right now. And then other than that, all we really have to do is expand the reserve personnel. But the North Caucasus is a pretty great place to have, as I would recall. It's even more oil, is it not? Yeah, it's even more oil. It's not as much as I kind of thought it would be. But still, it's more resources, and it's another 12 million population to get under our belt. What's our economy like? 5.3% inflation. Wow, I did that fast. How'd I do that? Theirs is even higher. Yeah, I think I'll start. Yep, alliance went through. Getting ready for the first invasion. I think I've staged enough troops. We got more coming. We got plenty more coming. I don't think I need everything. Again, they don't even have garrisons, just small military forces. So I'm gonna go ahead and just declare war. We have 71%. It's been at that justification for like forever. Let's go ahead and declare. And we'll get this invasion moving. It's gonna immediately break out the moment I unpause. Alright, let's see what happens. Woo! Instantaneous. I declared war. Why is it put over here? Put it in like the center. I can't. Okay, well, whatever. War breaks out immediately. They had a lot of air stuff over here from the get-go, so that might hurt a little bit. Do I have any air of my own deployed? I didn't really care to look at that too much. What do I have if I have everything? I clearly do. I clearly do. What is it? Yeah, fighter, multi. Oh, okay, that works out very well. Alright, cool. I'm just going to send them like all right here. Now that the war has actually begun. I'm sure my units will appreciate the support. We'll definitely lose some units. I'm not going to be as efficient right now. I'm not even going to try to be as efficient as I was playing as Germany just generally trying to win. So we're running into, oh my god, let me, increased spending? What? Social program? Fuck you. So my units, I've gone ahead and I've poured in a bunch of units through Ukraine here. I think I'm gonna take some of these units, have them step on Donetsk, take some more, have them step over here, make sure we just claim all that stuff. We seem to have taken this over nice and fine. So ideally we want to connect these two routes here. And so that's what we're gonna aim to do, kind of just supporting through both sides. This group's gonna definitely suffer some little bit of a brunt, I believe. Last episode, yeah, I've already gotten all this stuff set up. We ran into just a fuck ton of their units immediately. And how is the AI doing just by itself? 24 to 4. Okay, that's a pretty good ratio for right now. But again, only if we can keep it up will that be a good ratio. And right now I see a lot of infantry that are maybe running out of supplies pretty much immediately. No, they have ammo, surprisingly. Okay, well then let's take that air that I just sent over here. And I believe they could be probably pretty useful right about there. Theoretically, there's like a supply plane in there somewhere. Actually, let me specifically tell them to go right about there. The fighting seems to be constant, even without, yeah, speeding up. 6 more kills for every, like, 1 kill that they get. We have more and more troops just kind of rushing in, so we'll definitely send some planes over there. We're going to play this a little more hands-off, a little more macro, a little less micro. We're killing all the units that are in our way over here. Anything that gets in the way is pretty much dying immediately. Yeah. Their capital's right over here, so this is definitely the goal to go for, if anything. We are losing units, but we got to make sure to point out that KDR. Yeah, we're still killing. Look at that. We're killing way faster than we're losing anything. I am concerned for this group right here. They're not having a great time. I'm going to give them all just an order to just run over here, just to try to get them out of the way. And then an order that takes just these units, of which a lot of which are frontline units, just have them kind of rush forward to like take over for them. Because I feel like this is probably being influenced a lot by Artie. And I think I just saw some more. Oh no, okay. I thought I saw like a handful of those units die, and nothing actually died in that instant. When we lose things, we're only losing them really one at a time. Okay, a lot of these things are also having trouble moving in general. But almost all the enemy units have been killed already around, and now the entire Ukrainian military is mobilizing to help us. So this is about to get even easier, and I can be even more hands-off. The Ukrainian military is massively mobilizing to help us to the point of almost matching our numbers. Okay, I like this. 62 to 21, 63, okay. Still very good odds. Still very good odds. Maybe I should send you guys to retreat through that path, honestly, because they're coming up through here now. And now with the Ukrainians just rushing in, I feel like I can just speed it up. I don't need to, yeah, okay, here's the big wave of injured units getting away just fine. Yeah, we've gained another 20 kills, haven't lost anybody. The injured units are all basically out, at least the most important ones. Oh, there's a wave of injured units here. I'm gonna just start basically telling them to back off in big waves, little bit by little bit. Just into Ukraine, and then let the AI kind of take them from there. Because, well, number one, I can get away with that. Because, number two, the Ukrainians are pouring in to take over my job. Oh yeah, dude, now the KDR is just fucking skyrocketing now that we got past that original push. As we can see here, the remaining North Caucasus units are just getting fucked up. Shame, you know, it would have been nice if we had those units, but once we take this over, we get their land production. I think we already got it, actually. And their air production will all be ours, and we'll get all their resources and their population. Just took their capital over. Seems pretty good to me. This is why I wanted to ally Ukraine. I knew they would help me with this, and that the moment they started helping, I could do less. Well, the fighting is actually calming down quite a bit. And North Caucasus has moved their capital to right down the road there. We don't really have a whole lot of injured units up here on the front. No, we don't. So, let's give them a path down the road, just as a big chunk. Just that big chunk right there. We'll also take another little chunk here and give them a little path down the road as well. I don't believe they have garrisons. No, they still don't have garrisons. They're trying to get some garrisons, but they still hardly have any. And there you go. They've died. Okay, and we got the pop-up annex, liberate, colonize. I bet this was bugged. I remember that this did not pop up when I played the Germany campaign. I remember this. And also maybe in multiplayer testing, I forget. I asked the devs about it, and Chris wasn't actually sure why I wasn't seeing this or any options. So I'm happy to see this popping up. We're going to go ahead and just annex that. That's it. War's done. We'll just go ahead and theater and maximize garrisons in theater. Also, I will go ahead and just repair everything that has been injured in that. So Ukraine is militarized and mobilized, just ready to help us. Belarus was just starting to send everything it could to help us. Very useful ally. The North Koreans were also, and the Chinese were also all mobilizing stuff to help us. And now that we've been at war, oh my god, look at all this. Now that we've been at war, they may actually start garrisoning our territory, quote unquote, for us with their active units, which is actually perfect, and I will love that. I have a lot of units that are just like moving still. It's fine. And now we have a new objective. Recapture South Caucasus. Invade Georgia, Armenia, and Azerbaijan. Oh, really? With Northern Caucasus back under our control, we seize this opportune moment to harness our momentum and embark on a strategic campaign. Our objective is to recapture the total South Caucasus region, which includes the territories of Georgia, Armenia, and Azerbaijan, all of which were once integral parts of the Soviet Union. By reclaiming these territories, we will initiate the first phase of our resolute plan. Why did no one tell me this plan? To restore our nation's former glory. With unwavering determination, we move forward, knowing that the successful recapture of the total South Caucasus region will set the stage for our triumphant resurgence as a formidable global power. If there's a plan, I feel like someone should tell me about it. 71. Alright, did they just grant me? They did. They just granted me free war justification towards everybody down here. Well, we'll still oppose and fund on all of them. We could go to war right now, but I don't know if I want to do that immediately. How are we diplomatically? World market is pleased with us. We might take a chance to just build up and recover, because these nations are, you know, they're real nations. I don't expect them to threaten me nearly as much as South Caucasus ever could. Any nation that the devs just throw in there specifically for the purpose of a campaign, I don't trust that. But I kind of think that I see where this might be headed. So I'm actually out of time for this episode. I think we accomplished our good first goal. We've set up our country completely. We started setting up our economy, our budget. Everything's been going pretty well in that regard, and we're already kind of moving on to phase 2, which involves taking 3 more countries, which will be fun to do all at once. But for now, that's it for this episode. Thank you guys very much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.